Hi, and welcome to your new program. As I mentioned in the introduction, this program is going to be about getting you relieved of that back pains. Primary reasons, as I mentioned, could be lack of strength and stability in your muscles around the hip, lack of range of motion, in a simpler language, lower mobility and flexibility. So, this program is going to address exactly just that. That being said, we have 10 exercises, as I mentioned earlier, the first one of which is going to be a glute kickback. Let's get started with the first one. As you can see, the position of the machine or the arm is at level 0. You've got a strap attachment for the first exercise. I'm going to quickly demonstrate the movement to you before we get started. You're going to strap onto a foot. You're going to be under very close proximity to the machine. Ideally, you would like to take a little support. From here, the important part is going to be to tuck my pelvis in before I start. That is simply saying abs tight, glutes engaged throughout. From here, I'm going to slightly turn my foot out, not completely in, which is going to give me more hamstring. I'm going to turn my foot slightly out, which is going to give me more glute. From here is a very small range of motion. It is just pushing out, so you engage your hip and glutes and you come down. What you don't want to be doing is losing that shape of your hip and arching too hard. That's going to hyperextend your back and change the adaptation of the workout entirely. So what we're going to do is, remember, only 3 key points. Once you've got support in place, open your foot slightly, 45 to 30 degrees. From there, tuck your pelvis, small range kick out, feel the glute, come back in. All right. Remember, keeping your remote to switch on, start the timer, and let's go. Exhale, inhale as you go down. You're going to work the entire time frame nice and easy. Slow tuck back. Feel the glute engage. Keep your abs tight. Slowly come back in. Remember, all your weight is going to be on the right leg. It's absolutely okay for you to take support from the machine. Kick back. Feel your glute. Slowly come in. Keep going. Remember to squeeze your glute on the opposite side as well. Don't let the hips stay disengaged. Pull your abs in. Keep your glutes tight on both sides. Keep breathing and keep going. All right. Once you're done, you're going to quickly change straps to the other side. Remember, it's a very, very small range of motion for you to work your glutes. Remember, it's not hyperextension at the back. All the work is going to be happening at your bum. It's absolutely okay for you to take support of the machine. All the weight is going to be in my left leg this time. Right leg is going to be working on the kickback. Remember, click, start your timer, focus on your breath, and let's go. Breathe out, breathe in. Also, remember, for different people, glute engagement can happen in different ranges. So check your foot positioning if you need to have the foot slightly more open than it already is, just for better glute engagement. Another key point to not forget is going to be keeping your abs tight, keeping your breath in check, keep breathing, keep going. Remember to keep your entire focus on the glute. Your left side also is going to be working since all your weight is going to be on one leg, while the right leg kicks back, left leg stabilizes. Feel your butt working. Keep going. All right. So that concludes your first movement. That was your glute kickback. The second one is going to be similar attachment, similar equipment used. It's called your standing knee tucks. Again, you're going to be propped on one foot while the other foot is attached to the strap, as you can see. From here, my work is only to bring my knee up as high as I possibly can. Go down slow. Pull my knee up. Go down slow. All right. Remember, remote as always. to begin your resistance. Engage the resistance, begin the timer off. Once you're in position, let your foot hang loose. Keep your core tight. Weight engage. Drop your hip like that. Keep your hip in good extension from the lateral side as well. And knee tucks. Let's go. Breathe out. Breathe in nice and easy. Keep a steady tempo through the entire routine. Think about your breath. You're working your hip flexor. Breathe and exhale once the knee comes up. Inhale as the foot goes down. Keep a steady tempo and keep going. Nice and easy. Remember, this hip is also working since you're standing on one leg. It's an added advantage, while the flexor on the right side does most of your work. Breathe out once your knee comes up. Breathe in as the hips go down. Keep a steady tempo. Keep going. All right, switch. Remember, once you're done with your right, you got your left as well. Make sure the strap is nice and secure on your foot so it doesn't come off while you're doing the set. Another important thing to remember, as always, is going to be keeping your remote as close as possible to you so you can begin your set and resistance as you click. Take support, hang your foot out, and let's go. Breathe out as the knee comes up. Breathe in as the knee goes down. Remember, you're working actively the left side on the flexor in this set. As you're working the left, remember your right side is also doing the work to just stabilize you in space. Taking support with your fingers on the machine could be a good cue for you to find more added stability. It's all right if you do not want to take support as well. Think about not dropping your hip, keeping your hips up, slowly knee down, powerfully up. Keep breathing, keep going. All right, nicely done. Unstrap yourself. Moving on, the third one is going to be focusing on your hamstrings. It's called your hamstring slides. You're going to stay on the mat for this one. Ideally, you would want a sliding surface, or you could just, as I'm doing, wear a socks. Take your shoe off on both sides. You're not going to be using the machine for this one. It's going to be more of a body weight work. From here, you're going to keep one knee on the mat while the other knee slides out as far as you possibly can. Feel a good stretch on your hamstring and come back up. From here, I'm going to use my hands for support if I need to. I'm going to push, feel a nice stretch on the hamstring, come back up. All right, it's as simple as that. Remember, you can use a mat that slides on the ground. You can use a pad. You can use anything which enables you to lessen the friction on the ground and help you slide, ideally feeling the hamstring up and down with your breaths. Let's get started. All right, from here, remember, my knee is not bent, neither is it locked. It is slightly flexed. Think about a soft knee position. You can get your hands down, or you can also use something for support if you don't have the flexibility to get your hands down. Since I do not need any support on the sides. You should be able to get a box or a stool or anything to get support. If not, push forward and let's get started. You should be able to explore a greater range of motion with every passing set. As you can notice, I'm not pulling my toes up, I'm pushing my toes down. Remember, I keep my knees slightly soft. Don't stress it out too hard. Keep pushing front and back. Keep going. All right, once you're done on the left side, you're going to move on to the right. Remember, you can protect your knee by just placing it on the mat. Again, reminder, if you need support on your sides, you can use the support on your sides. You can use a stool or any elevation. If you feel like you can get your hands down, even better. All right, once you're in position, remember, you're going to click, begin your set, and timer on. Let's go. Push forward, feel a nice stretch on the hamstring, come back up. As you can notice, like I said, toes not pulled back, toes pushed forward slightly, knee not locked out, slightly bend. Exhale as you go down, inhale as you come up. Breathe out. Relax that muscle. Feel a nice hamstring stretch. Return back. Breathe out. Remember, push your hamstring forward. Breathe in and come back up. Keep breathing, keep going. Nice and easy, controlled reps. Keeping all your attention into the hamstring. Primarily trying not to breathe or hold your breath rather. Keeping your breath in check constantly because mobility is going to depend on how easily you're going to breathe through your reps. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep going. All right. So that was your third movement. The fourth one again is going to involve a little bit of sliding on the floor. It's called your flexor slides. The hip flexor muscle that we worked as we lifted our knee. In that one, we worked the range in a shortened position. As you can notice, me picking up the knee shortens this muscle here. So strengthening that in the shortened position, we're going to do exact opposite in the next one. We're going to strengthen it in the lengthened position. From here, you're going to get into a lunge position. As you can see, I'm going to quickly demonstrate the movement to you. I'm going to have one foot on the mat, one foot in the sliding surface. From here, I'm going to push my leg back without bending my knee. It's not a lunge. It's going to be focusing more on your flexor muscle. Remember, it's going to lengthen that muscle and work it on an end-to-end range. From there, slide your foot back, come back up. Especially good for the ones who sit a lot through the day. Think about having a desk job or driving too long in a day. That muscle is going to be tight and compressed. This is exactly what is going to help. Help it strengthen in a lengthened position and make you feel good at your back. All right. Working set, remember, remote, click, start the timer, and let's go. Take it slow. New movements, try to understand what is happening before you start pushing yourself too hard. As always, keep your breath in check. Slow, clean reps. Breathe out. Exhale, slide. Again. See, explore a greater range of motion as you keep doing more reps. If you're feeling more comfortable, you can start pushing slightly further more into that lunge. Again, remember the back knee is not going to be bent. It's going to be as straight as an arrow, as straight as you possibly can. From there, slide up and slide down. Again, remember, it's not going to be stability for your whole body. So if you're falling over, tumbling over, it's all right for you to take support on one side. If you're good, keep sliding, keep going. All right, once you're done with the left, you're going to quickly switch to the right. Again, remember, there are no breaks here. It's just mobility work, trying to get good range, good stability around you. Once you're in position, remember always to click the timer on. And let's go. Push back, knee straight, weight in the front leg, slide from the back leg. Like I said, you're trying to stretch your hip flexor out as much as you possibly can without stressing yourself too hard. Pause for a split second, drag your foot back. Nice and easy on the negative. Take your time, explore a greater range as you keep going. Slide back up and continue your reps. Nice and easy. Slowly going down all the way. Exhale. Give it a nice deep stretch. Slide it back up. Remember, I said it's all right for you to take support. So if you're feeling like you're losing balance as you're doing that, it's okay for you to take a pipe or a stick around you or keep a stool or a box around you to give you added stability. Keep going. Press, push back, feel a nice deep stretch. Drag your foot back. Nice and easy. Keep going again. Push, stretch, drag your foot back, and keep going. All right. So that concludes your flexor slides. The next one is going to be mobility again. It's going to be your 90-90 lotus or around the world, whatever name you would like to call it. I'm going to demonstrate the movement to you first. You can put your shoes back on if you feel like, or you can keep them off if you need to. Remember, 90-90 position with your knees, keeping your palms for stability and support of your spine. Don't slouch, don't fall into that. From here, what we're going to simply do is move into one position. From there, I'm going to bring one leg up, bring that leg back, switch 90-90 other side, bring the leg up, bring the leg back. Again, for the first timers, it's advisable to keep your hands back for support. If you're feeling good mobility, if you're not struggling through this range, that's when you would not want to use your hands. You want to go without the hands as well. But for today, let's use the hands and get good range of motion, starting with your right side. Remember, remote, close proximity, click to start, and let's go. Point, squeeze quads, come back into that, rotate onto the opposite side, point, come back. Remember 90-90, don't bend your knees too much. Try and maintain that 90-degree bend around your knees on both sides. Twist in the opposite direction again. Get into that extension, lotus or around the world, whatever you would like to call it. Keeping your hands back for support so you don't slouch. Keeping a nice extension on your back. Consistently breathing, because your mobility and range of motion is purely going to be defined by how well you breathe. Don't hold your breath, which stiffens your body. Keep that in check. Keep going. All right. So that concludes your 90-90 around the world, or 90-90 lotus. In a simpler language, more hip mobility. The next one is going to be your prone cobra holds. You're going to do a 2-second pause on top while you continue with the reps. I'm going to quickly demonstrate to you as always. All right, you're going to be lying down prone or on your stomach. From there, you're going to start with your hands back. You're going to squeeze your butt, as a result of which you're going to lift your chest. You're going to stay there for a second or two. Go back down. You're going to come up again. Squeeze, lift, squeeze all the muscles on your posterior chain or behind you. Hold it for a couple of seconds and come back down. All right. Remember, remote, click, start your timer, and let's go. Squeeze your glute, lift up, hold there for 2 seconds, come back down. Squeeze your triceps, squeeze your back, squeeze every muscle on your posterior chain or behind your body, including your calves, hamstrings engaging, full back working throughout. Remember to pause, don't rush. None in this program is going to be done at a fast pace. So think about nice, steady, rhythmic reps. Squeeze, hold, engage, and keep going. All right, that was your prone cobras. The next one is going to work the same muscles in a lengthened position. As you noticed, once you were lying down, your glutes were compressed into a shortened position. The next one is going to work the same muscle in a lengthened position. It's your pigeon position. You're going to add an extension of the back to it. It's called your pigeon extensions. From here, I'm going to start with one leg in front, other hands like the previous one, all the way back. I'm going to get my forehead down to the ground, extend as much as I possibly can. Remember what I just said? The first one, when you were lying down on your stomach, you saw how the glutes were working in a shortened position. The next one is going to put them in a lengthened position and work the other range. Remember, as I said, you're going to be strengthening the muscles in its full range, not just strong and shortened, also strong at the end position or the lengthened range. All right, that being said, do not forget the remote. Click, start your timer, and let's go. Breathe in as I'm going down. Breathe out, squeeze on top. Nice and easy on the negative. Power on the positive. Feel the stretch on the glute. Feel the extension on your back as well once you come up. Breathe in as I go down. Breathe out on top. All right, once you're done with the left, of course, you have the right to do as well. Bring the other foot in. Remember remote again. That's what is going to engage and start your timer. Get into position, folded knee, hands back. Nice and easy. Keep going. Again, ideally, you would like to do it the way I'm doing it. If you're finding it too difficult, you can always use that block for support while you work the end-to-end range. Keep something around you so you can take a little more support from it. Or you can just use your palms on the floor as you're doing that, going down all the way, pushing up into full extension. Keep moving. All right, so that concludes your pigeon extensions. The next one is going to address more of your adductor flexibility and mobility. It's called your Cossacks. You're going to watch the demo first, as always. I'm going to start with my feet slightly more wider than my shoulder width or my hip width. Again, do not go too wide. Is only as wide as you possibly can. First, experience a couple of sets. If you feel the mobility is good, then you can go deeper and wider. For a start, what we're going to be doing is you're going to have one leg straight and you're going to sit on one side. Kick your hands out for counterbalance. You're going to sit as deep as you possibly can. Don't force it. Come back up. Again, remember, it's not strength work, it's mobility. So take your time. Try and experience a good lengthening, in a thigh. Sit as deep as you possibly can. Come back up. As always, for every exercise, it is advisable if you're not able to do it like how I demonstrated, take support from a wall, take support from a box, have something around you that can give you added stability so you can focus on mobilizing the areas that we need to. All right, that being said, remote, timer on, let's go. You're going to do only the right side first, nice and easy going up and down. Think about the left side feeling the work or the stretch on it. Breathe out as I go down. Breathe in as I come back up. Keep a steady tempo. Keep breathing. Keep going. Don't have to rush your reps. Remember, it's easy mobility work. Don't force too many reps. It's not about how many reps can you get in the stipulated time. It's about how clean can you do every rep in the stipulated time. It's all right if you don't get too many reps. It's more important that you get clean reps. Keep your breath in check every rep and keep going. All right, once you're done with the right, you're going to do on the left. You're going to be feeling the right hamstring or the right adductor this time. Feel the mobility of the stretch for it. Remember, as always, your set always starts when you click the button, and let's go. Feel a nice deep range, good flexion or good stretch on your adductor. Remember, if you're falling back, you can take something as support in front. You can use the wall, you can use the machine. Think about all your focus should be on mobilizing your adductor, trying to stretch it out, give it good range of motion. Remember, we are trying to strengthen it at the same time. Work it on a length and range. Breathe in and out. Nice and steady. Keep going. Again, don't rush it. Don't rush it. Take your time. You can do slower than I'm doing it. You can spend some time there if you need to. You can spend some time on top also if you need to. And keep going. All right. So that concludes your 8th exercise, which was your Cossacks. The next one is going to be your seated external rotation. As you can see, the machine is already at position 0. You're going to sit back with your feet on the wall. Grab hold of the cables. From here, keep an upright chest, pushing your feet firmly into the ground. You're going to try and bring your wrist to your shoulder. As you can notice, it's not my elbows coming up. I'm going to try and bring my wrist to the shoulder while I'm keeping a good extension on my spine. Breathe out as the weight goes down. Release the stretch. Breathe in and extend. Exhale as you squeeze. And that is going to be your seated external rotations. All right. So remember, your remote is where you're going to start and stop your set and engage your resistance. Click the remote, engage your resistance, grab onto the cables, thumb pointing back, good extension on your spine. Keep going. Protract, retract. Remember, it's your list leading the way, not your elbows. Don't pull with your elbows, try to pull with your wrist. Squeeze your back, extend that spine, keep your stomach in, chest up, unshrug, keep going. Nice and easy. Remember, you don't have to rush through any of it. Take your time, slowly come back, come in, roll your wrists in, roll your shoulders in, protract slightly, retract, external rotation. That's your full range. Keep breathing, keep going. Push your feet harder into the ground for added stability. Slightly lean back to get more external rotation. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep going. All right, that was your 9th one. Remember, as I mentioned before we started, there are going to be 10 exercises, and we're going to finish it off all with the purest quality forms that you can possibly do. For the final one, it's going to be a side plank hold. I'm going to quickly show it to you before we get started, as always. I'm going to get down onto the mat, my palms spread out, elbows exactly under my shoulders. I'm going to keep both my legs out, one on top of the other, lift my hip up and hold it. If this is difficult, I'm going to just split my legs, distribute the weight evenly, hold the weight here, and that is your side plank hold. All right. Remember, remote. Also, if you're feeling too taxed to hold it up for the entire stipulated time, you can break it down by not just splitting your stance. You can also bring one leg in and just hold the hip up with minimal resistance or weight being taken by the foot. Start the remote, timer starts, and let's go. Hold there. It's going to be slightly difficult if somebody hasn't done this before. If you've done this before and if you're finding it easy to hold, think about trying to constantly lift your hips up with every breath. Every time you exhale, try and lift your hip up. And if you're somebody who's finding it difficult to hold here, you can split your weight evenly between both your left and right instead of stacking them one over the other. And as always, if you're finding it more difficult than you should, even in this position, you simply bring one foot up, constantly keep the weight still on the left, as you can see in this side, while my right supports the whole structure. Stay in that position and breathe. Ideally, you should be feeling the sides working, trying to lift them up as high as I possibly can. Remember, every time you exhale, lift your hip, keep breathing, stay there. Once you're done, switch sides. Remember the remote. That's why you start your timer from. Once you're in position, start the remote and let's go. You're going to hold that there. Remember again, if you're getting or if this position is getting too difficult, too taxing, split the weight, split your foot front and back. Ideally still, the leg at the bottom is going to be taking the weight, not the leg on the top. And if you're finding that very difficult as well, just bring one leg up, put most of your resistance here, lift the hip, try to maintain that position. And if you're finding this too easy, of course, you get back, normal plank with one foot stacked over the other, core held tight, palms firm for stability. I'm going to stay there. Again, think about your breathing. Don't drop your hip. Every time you exhale, try and lift your hip up as high as you possibly can. That's going to engage your sides. Feel the work on them. Keep breathing. Hold. All right. So that concludes your 10th exercise in the routine for today. As always, pointers to take back is going to be think about taking support wherever you need to. Don't force your reps. Moving on, push your limits as far as you can only. Don't have to extend your intensity simply because you watch me doing it. Remember, the program is about getting you rid of the back pain. At any point, if you start feeling the pains coming back, please consult a professional. But in an ideal case scenario, with all these exercises done in the exact same order, in the exact same intensity that I've described, with your scale downs, should get you free of your back pain in no time. That being said, in conclusion for today, I would like you to think about nourish, hydrate, get a good night's rest. See you for day 2.